Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, please do make sure to hit the subscribe button before you leave. And if you are a returning subscriber, what's good, what's up, welcome back, and thank you so much for joining me once again. So in today's video, I would like to tackle the topic of fear and how to overcome your fear when it comes to getting what you want, doing things that you would like to do, or starting something that you're afraid to do. Like, how do we deal with fear when it comes to going after our dreams and just living our best life? So the first step to overcoming fear is definitely to stop caring what other people think. This is usually one of the biggest obstacles that we have when trying to go after something that we want, is that we care too much about what other people think. We put other people's opinions on a pedestal when the reality is their opinions are not going to pay your bills, child. You just need to make your opinion the most important opinion, and not to say don't take advice from other people or don't hear different perspectives and hear other people's thoughts, but don't allow your fear of what you think other people are going to think or say about you to stop you from doing what you want to do, because at the end of the day, they're still going to go on and live their lives, and you stop doing what you wanted to do because of them, but they're not affected, you are. So definitely stop caring what other people think. And it also reminds me of the quote that says, not everybody is supposed to understand your calling, because it was a call between you and God. It was not a conference call. Not everyone is going to understand it, and that includes your friends, your family, people that are close to you. Just because people are close to you does not necessarily mean that they will understand your calling or understand your purpose. So you can't place too much weight on what other people think about you. The next thing that can help you overcome your fear is to weigh your options in terms of thinking, what will happen if I don't do it versus what will happen if I actually try. Most of the times the pros outweigh the cons. If you think of the pros, like, if I actually go for this thing, what benefit will I gain from it, and you'll probably gain a lot. Maybe you'll gain, depending on what you're trying to do, maybe you'll gain new connections, maybe you'll meet new people, make more money, be more fulfilled, be more happy, be satisfied, be content, be happy to wake up on a Monday morning. Whatever the case is, that's what happens if you actually do try to go after what you want. And if you don't try, then you're still going to be stuck where you are. You're probably going to be miserable. You're going to be thinking coulda, shoulda, woulda. You're going to be wishing you had, etc. So sometimes just writing a list of the pros and cons of you actually going for that thing and you not going for that thing, you'll find that the pros outweigh the cons, or you'll find that you can actually work around your cons. You can find solutions to them and you can try and make it work. While you're weighing your options, the next thing to do is to ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? Most of the times we really over exaggerate, like fear makes us over exaggerate the negatives or over exaggerate what could happen, but genuinely ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? And really just investigate that, really dissect it, figure out what's the worst that could happen and how will that affect you. So this definitely depends on what you're trying to do. Just really ask yourself, if the worst case scenario happens, how will I be affected and how can I overcome it? Is it something that I can get through? And the most important question to ask yourself is, will you die though? And if the answer is no, then whatever it is that you're trying to do is worth trying out. Because as the saying goes, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I also feel like fear is an indicator of what you care about. It's an indicator of what's important to you. It's an indicator of what you should be moving towards. And I think that's a better perspective to see it in. Because if you're scared to do something or you're scared to try something, 9 times out of 10, you really care about that thing. 9 times out of 10, you really want to try that thing, like it's important to you. Because if you think about it, if you didn't care about it, if it wasn't important to you, if it meant nothing to you at all, then you wouldn't be so scared to do it. You know what I mean? Like, you're not scared to send in a CV to a company. You're not scared to do a 9 to 5 job. You're not scared to go to university, for example. Like, you're not scared to go the obvious route, and you're not scared to do the most obvious or conventional thing. Most of the things that scare us are things that are actually very close to our heart, that are really important to us. So I feel like looking at fear as an indicator of the direction that you should move towards also helps, because then you can see it as an opportunity to challenge yourself and get out of your comfort zone. Another thing with fear is to do it scared. I remember seeing this quote like a while ago, and honestly it has stuck with me because it resonated so much. Most of the time we really think that we need to be absolutely confident in something and so fearless about something to go for it, but honestly you can do it scared. Like, you can be scared and still do it. Just because you are scared does not mean that you are incapable of doing what you need to do. You just have to do it scared. Like, even thinking back to the time when I uploaded my very first YouTube video, like, I was scared. Like, I was literally scared. When I uploaded that video, I felt the same way you feel when you send a risky text and you just want to throw your phone under the fridge. Like, that's exactly how I felt. I think I literally switched off my Wi-Fi dots, like everything, because I was just so scared. Like, what are people gonna think? What's the reaction gonna be? Is it gonna do well? Is it not? Etc, etc. But at the end of the day, I still did it. I was so anxious, I was so nervous, I was so scared, but I still uploaded that first video. And it's not to say that after that video I was no longer scared. Like, maybe the second, third, fourth, fifth videos I was still afraid, but I just kept on going. Because another thing about fear is that action eliminates fear. The more action you take, the less scared you become, because before you do something, in your head it's this big scary thing, and then once you do it you realize that, oh, it's actually not that deep. Like, it's actually not that scary. Like, it's fine. I will be okay. I will survive. So the more action you take, the less scared you become. So instead of just sitting and wallowing in your fear, do something. Like, take action towards that thing, whether that's one step, one small step, one big step, whatever it is, but take action. Another realization about fear that I found out through a quote. I'm always just finding quotes and reading quotes, and they really just they really be teaching me something. But I saw a quote that was essentially saying that faith and fear are essentially the same thing, in the sense that they both require you to believe in something that you can't see. And that is something that is going to stick with me, because fear is you believing in something that you can't see. You can't see the outcome, but you already expect it to be bad. You are essentially imagining a bad outcome, and you're choosing to believe in that. That's fear. And faith is the same. It's you believing in something that you can't see. You can't see the positive consequences of your action, but you're choosing to believe in something good and something positive. You can't see the outcome of the thing that you're going to do, so you might as well choose to believe in the positive outcome. You might as well choose to have faith. Choose faith over fear. If you're going to try and predict the future, why not try and predict a good one? We always focus on, what if it doesn't work out? What if it fails? What if people laugh at me? What if people judge me? And we're always dwelling in the negative. But why don't we ever say, what if it does work out? What if it goes extremely well? What if this is actually my purpose? What if I find so much fulfillment doing this thing? What if people support me? What if it goes great? Why don't we ever focus on the possibilities of positive outcomes instead of focusing on negative outcomes? So when you feel fearful over something, choose faith over fear. And then my second last thing on this topic is that no risk, no reward. If you do not take a risk in this life, you will not gain a reward. Everything is essentially risky. You need to take that risk, and usually the bigger the risk, the bigger the return. You literally have to take a risk. You can't spend your whole life playing it safe and not trying to do the things that you want to do in this lifetime. You literally only have one life. Like, there is no do-over. You don't get to do it again. You don't get to come back and say, oh no, never mind, I actually want to try this time. Like, when it sinks in your mind that this is it, like, There's no two ways about it. This life, this one life that you have, this is it. And if you don't do the thing that you want to do, you'll never be able to do it. Like, that's just the bottom line. So take that risk, get that reward. And then my last and final piece of advice on this topic is to trust in God. And this is about trusting in something outside of yourself, trusting in something bigger than you, trusting in someone that has a proven track record of being faithful. Just go back in all the times in your life when you achieved something great, when you did something well. You know, God is faithful, He's able, He's capable. And I think this helps a lot, because sometimes when we focus on ourselves and our own abilities and our own capabilities, sometimes our dreams feel so much bigger than us. They feel so much more than what we can achieve, because you wonder, how can I do it? How will I be able to achieve this big thing? But when you take the focus outside of yourself and you place the focus on something greater than you, it kind of eliminates that fear a bit, because you realize that you're not alone. You don't have to do this alone, and that you just need to do your best, and God will do the rest. God will meet you where you are. He will meet you halfway, and He will do the big, amazing, out of this world stuff that you feel like you can't do. Of course, you need to believe in yourself and trust in your own abilities to be able to do a task or achieve something. But at the end of the day, realizing that God will do the most. God will do exceedingly, abundantly, above all you can ask or even think. That literally helps so much, because you realize that I don't have to be scared of anything, because there's a God out there who loves me, who's got a plan for me, and I trust Him. Like, even if I don't trust myself, I trust Him to get it done. And that is all the advice that I have on overcoming fear. I really hope that this video was helpful to some of you. Let me know in the comments down below which point resonated with you the most. I really love engaging with you guys. Please do make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with anyone else you think needs to see it. Thank you once again for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.